Well,
Yeah.
I was partly saying to Bob that, oh, no, 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 no. I said it in the email. Oh my God. I said in the email that around about Friday, I thought I need to get going. It's probably a good 2 weeks before the meeting, and then I realized it was 4 days away. I was like,
I
where,
understand that.
where the hell did July come from? Why don't people tell me these things are coming?
You know what? A couple of days is good. I used to get the meetings like the day before and go, oh shit, we haven't got anything. Run around like crazy trying to find a speaker.
Yeah, so I mean, I have a million ideas for people to get in contact with, um, and ready to do that, like as of very shortly. But I thought we'd just, I mean, I almost considered pushing this one back by a week just because things around here, but I figured we could just have like a quiet talk and maybe things will get going on an interesting subject or not, and it'll be fine. We just let it be what it is. I have a few um, discussion things that might. Oh, um, yeah. Remember you posted about a natural sort at one stage, Scott?
Nope.
I'm not sure if that was a yes or a no.
Oh, that would no,
So
I don't remember.
you posted on the forum at one stage asking about was it in the context of Excel maybe or like a Explorer type thing trying to
I think I might have posted about something about trying to sort file names in
yeah
numeric order. If you've got like a, my file one and a my file
10
um or a my file 100 and a my file 22, the 100 appears before the 22. So Explorer's got a way of sorting it so the files make sense even though they're not alphabetically sorted.
yeah apparently that's called natural sort
Right.
and maybe File Explorer does Windows Explorer does the same thing but the best description I saw somewhere was that it's like treating text as text, but when you get to digits, you treat that as a number.
Hmm.
So it's like a alternating sequence of text, number, and that kind of ties into my most recent hobby horse about the functional ideas in like you can have a data we can have data type easily a record that is can hold a say a string and a number um, and if we use well, I guess a t value we've got a t value now or a variant record that we have had forever you could make that a string or a number right a string or an integer. Actually, I don't know if you can have strings and variant records because they're managed. I can't remember. But the idea is like instead of having two things there, you just have the one or the other. And then like one of these strings you want to type would be um, an array, let's say an array, whatever, of this character type that can be a string or an integer. So you end up with string and integer and string and integer and
It's like a variant data type.
yeah, yeah. That will take on. It will only be one particular type at a time instead of like a record holding both of them at the same time. And I mean, you can imitate it with a record because you just say might have another field saying which of these two I'm using at that time, but it's kind of wasteful. Um, and I got to that. I started doing some stuff around that, but don't think I got to the step. I created like the data part of it, but I didn't get to the sorting part of it to test it out. I don't think, but I can't remember why I had that in my head now. There was some logic there, and if I ever find it again, I will let you know.
Yeah, I think
Can't.
I was keen on just doing sorting in the same way that Explorer sorts. I think I had some kind of requirement where I was, needed to do that. So yeah, so it's just if Microsoft are just using the standard natural sort, that'd be good. Yeah, just find the Delphi implementation of that.
Oh, should we do the co-host?
Yeah, give me a second. I'll make you co-host.
Well, that's interesting
There
in
you
the
go.
sense. Cheers. Um, in the sense that someone else on the forum had asked about they wanted to get text in the same in the same way that Explorer came up with it. I think it was Explorer, and they'd put some C code up there. Uh, and it looked, pretty intense, but I put it into ChatGPT and asked it to. Uh, I think there is either two halves to it, like a function and a main part, or else it was two different files. I can't remember, but I took the. No, I think it was one function, but for whatever reason, I just took the top part of it, asked ChatGPT to translate it to Delphi, and it actually did it. Like only needed a tiny bit of fixing, and and I was amazed because most of the things that I've been to ChatGPT asking it for about programming have been like meh most of the time, and this one was like an amazing result. And then when I did the bottom part of it, it completely fluffed. But the bottom part of it was just basically printing stuff out to the screen, so it didn't matter at all. And but it was one of my rare successes with ChatGPT.
Yeah, lately it's been going around in circles with me, and it'll give me a solution, and then I'll tell it, look, there's some little bit here that's wrong, and I'll say, oh yeah, excuse me, I'll just fix that. Second attempt is wrong, third attempt is wrong, and then it cycles back to the first one.
Um,
But it's still usually one of those gets me a good way along the way to just take it over and do the rest myself.
Actually, I have been had in the back of my head for a long time to do Conway's Game of Life, and uh, again, like with the idea, like because you've got this board, and they're all like on or off as far as living or dead the cells, and then you've got the rules around that thing, and you process the whole board, and you end up with the next board, the next generation, and that felt like something that um, I could try doing in a air quotes functional way. But there's always like that resistance to getting started. And a a couple of weeks ago, I'm not sure, I went, oh, well, let's try with the Chat GPT, and I asked it separately for an FMX version, and then later on after that a VCL version, and the VCL version basically just worked, and the FMX one needed some, you know, smoothing off the rough edges and stuff. And then it was still wrong, but what it was doing was like going through the grid figuring out what the next, how the next cell is going to be, how the next generation is going to be. But then when you're going along the next row, you've already changed the row that's above it. It's not, it's not generation one. The line above it is generation two now, and you're trying to work out generation two on the next line. I'm like, like once I twigged that was happening, I'm like, okay, we'll process this board into a second board,
Yeah,
and then
and even then, you could probably tell Chat GPT what it did wrong, and it would try and correct it.
mm, but anyway, it was really
Yeah.
good to
So
to
if
get that. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah, the interesting thing about working on that is there's a lot of performance tuning things that you can do to make it go faster and faster. So it's yeah, it's like this. You do the initial work, and then you can go, oh, okay, I can tune it, make it faster. It's a bit of a challenge to keep it that. Some of Alistair Christie's performance tuning techniques would be good to go through. Just apply one at a time. The other one that's similar to that is birds, Flappy Birds. And there's a Delphi program that someone's already written. I think we might have shown it at one of the Perth meetings. So it's based like a flock of birds, and there's a predator bird that flies through them, and the birds all split up and then reform, and so that's kind of like a game of life, but even more complex because things are moving around,
Hmm.
and it's all about each bird um, makes a decision based on what birds are around it and where they're going and what speed they're going, and so that's quite interesting to look at. But yeah, both of them are just fun to work on for just trying different performance tuning techniques. Alistair Christie did one of the symposium events, must have been at least 4 or 5 years ago, and just all on performance tuning, and that was actually really interesting. So he took the standard Mandelbrot program,
Oh yeah.
and he just showed different ways to tune the code, and it just went from slow to thousands of times faster, and showing each technique along the way.
That's on YouTube. Maybe it's on the ADUG channel.
Yeah, definitely worthwhile going back and looking at.
Just trying to find the link to it. Yeah, I think it was at one of the symposiums.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a symposium, pre-COVID, so it would have been, yeah, I think at least 5 or 6 years ago. Speaking of which, we've had a symposium this year, haven't we? Yeah.
Had that what? Sorry.
We've already had a symposium this year, so next year is. I'm guessing we're going to kind of go with the same thing, like each city trying to get together. We didn't manage to do that in Perth this time. I'm thinking for the next one, if we just give people a bit more advance notice.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll be. I mean, I think the execution of the actual event was pretty good. I think this, from the committee point of view, was pretty good this year. But the actual speakers, and I mean, a lot of people liked Mark Fletcher for talking about the business side of things, and Alistair Christie obviously is always good. Um, but the other two were, you know, maybe not super exciting, and so we've already actually started, you know, tossing around ideas for next year, hoping to get, something. Oh, there was a NDC Melbourne talk by the guy, Have I Been Pwned? Um,
Right.
and he was a really great speaker, um, talking about security and passwords and that sort of thing. Troy Hunt. Um, it was this year, uh, and he's Australian, so I think that would be a good get, I reckon. Um, really entertaining. Why are you giving me old videos? I will find it. Oh. And I'll find the Mandelbrot one and also the Troy Hunt.
Yeah, definitely that Mandelbrot one. I didn't get a chance to go through it. I think I could go through like I just watched it the first time. I didn't take a lot of notes. And I think it's worthwhile going back and yeah, making notes on that one.
It could be on Alice's channel. But next year is the 30th anniversary of Delphi,
Okay.
1995 to 2025. So you kind of think they're gonna do something there. This is John.
How are you?
Hey, John.
Hey, listen, is there any? I can't find my microphone, and I can't find any of my 5 cameras either. I've been searching for them hard.
Well, can everybody
We
hear
can,
John?
yeah, we can actually hear him. You could just leave him on
Yeah,
that
that's
phone
what
microphone there because we can hear him.
you're on live, John.
Yeah,
We can
cool.
hear you, John.
Perfect.
We can hear you coming through Paul's microphone.
Yeah, great stuff.
Oh. Hey, I thought we'd just mention that post that I sent you, Paul, about VMware
Yes.
virtual machines. VMware Server, which is the one that I use for all my Delphi virtual machines, is now free. It used to be about $130 odd to buy in it if you got some kind of a discount. Probably more like 200 if you're paying full, but yeah, it's gone free.
Is that the
So
one people were worried was going to get really expensive?
yeah, so what happened? VMware, they've been around for a long time. They've got a huge installed customer base, and a lot of data, or customers will have their virtualized servers running in a data center using VMware, and they've got a number of different products that they use to virtualize machines, Windows and Linux machines. And they got bought out. I can't remember the name. Got bought out by some big company. And this new company's strategy was basically they buy companies that have got a big market share, and then they just milk them. What they do is they jack up the prices, purchase prices, annual fees. They all go through the roof. And I'm talking huge, like 5 to 10 times price jump. Knowing that people are locked in, they're not going to go, well, we're not happy with the price, we're going to leave. They know their customer base is largely locked in. So that's what happened. And the prices have skyrocketed. But they made an announcement saying that the PC version was going to remain cheap. And they then recently put out some post and said it's now free. So I'm happy with that. I would probably stick with it if they increased the price. If they went 10 times the price, I'd probably opt out. If they just doubled it, I'd probably stay in. But yeah, so now it says VMware Workstation Pro. This is actually done back in May, so it's about a month or two old. Free for personal use or paid commercial use. I think it's free even if you're running a business on it. So yeah, check it out. So VMware Workstation Pro. They've got all these different products, and sometimes it can be hard to find the one that you need. So it's VMware Workstation Pro. I think that used to be called VMware Server, but yeah, VMware Workstation is the one that you want.
I put the talk by Troy Hunt in the chat. It was called How I Met Your Data. It was in Sydney, actually, not Melbourne. And I put the link that Scott sent to me about VMware also in the chat.
Okay, got it. So, Paul, I think you had some other topics that you posted you were going to talk about. Where are they?
Lesbox mentioned Copilot last month, and I may
Right.
have scared him away. um, this looks like 2016 was Alistair talking about fractals.
Yeah, that'll
In
be
my
the one. Yeah.
in my head there was more than one, but that might go back to when YouTube made you post shorter videos. So
He would have done the standard sort of hour and a half presentation.
yeah, it looks like it's hour and a half. Alistair Christie and
Yeah.
fractals. There you go, in chat. Found it.
Yeah, so you mentioned that Les Fox was been playing around with the Copilot.
Yeah, you mentioned Copilot last time. He's
But,
not here. He's not here
you're not here.
today.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, like I'm setting up the new Windows laptop right now, and I'm kind of going, do I enable Copilot? Am I happy having an AI wandering all over my PC?
oh,
I don't know.
yeah. So Copilot that I knew of was just in VS Code or whatever. I mean Visual Studio too, I suppose. But there were a couple of Windows
Hmm.
videos from on YouTube. Someone talking about Windows 11 and having like AI enabled and all this sort of thing. Actually, there are two interesting things here. I'll just have to find them. And they're really short, so maybe we could actually watch them. One was there was a separate company that was basically going to support Windows 10 for like the next 5 years or something, like not Microsoft, for some, like in the order of $10 a month or 20 for the year or something like that. Well, it was a short. It wasn't a video. It was a short. Damn, I should have. I thought I was going to find those easily, but I'll have to. I'll have to dig for that one. Yeah, I had a couple of two interesting videos about Windows 10 and about Windows 11. But the symposium questionnaire is on the forum, and Jeff has well, I gave you guys the replay videos, the rough replay videos, but the official ones will be either released now or in a day or so. The Z80 microprocessor ceased, the original Z80 anyways, ceased being made in like April or something now.
I'm surprised it was still being made.
Yeah, there was
I
quite a
guess
few.
must be used for all sorts of devices, I guess.
Well, there are newer, like, sort of same but different. Like there was a Z80, I think A maybe, that has 16 16-bit access to memory, or there's all these people are still using them in all sorts of but yeah, there were quite a few articles at the time. Damn, I'm sure I saved the link somewhere. So after 48 years, Zilog is killing the classic standalone Z80. I will put a link to that in the chat.
So you were talking about regex, and the thing I just want to point out with there is that Scott van der Linden has written his own regex engine in Delphi. He spoke about it at Perth Group some years ago, probably at least 3-4 years ago.
I think it was, if it's what because John and I spent some time couple months back, was it, John? Working through some regex examples, and yeah, we both had a an exe, like exe, maybe not source code. I can't remember. No, maybe it was the whole thing from a meeting that Scott V had presented in the past. It was a regex like testing out type. So you could type in you could have some text there, and then the actual regex itself, or what do some people say? Regex that and it can tell you what what's being matched, what the. Oh, okay. I thought we were already.
Back in or? Oh, yeah. I'm just. No, so did you get the job done, didn't it? We pulled it out of it.
You might have to mute
Yeah,
John at
okay.
your end. Mute your speaker with John for a minute.
Yeah, we seem to be a bit off topic.
Yeah, but if look, just pointing out, if you want anyone to talk about regex, Scott Van Linden's the guy. He's pulled it apart to bits. He's written his own regex engine, which he says is a lot faster than the one that ships at Delphi. Order of magnitudes faster.
Oh, okay.
So, and he's a bit of a wizard with writing regex code.
Hang on.
Partially successful. I reckon that's a good.
I think you just need to mute your speaker because you got John Walker's coming through.
No. John's microphone suddenly burst into life, apparently.
Oh, he's back on. Okay.
So I just gave it a helping hand.
Yeah. So you mentioned unit testing there, and you said you were doing some work on unit testing in the last few months. So what are you up to there?
Yeah. So like, well, work might be describing it as work might be a stretch, but the comparison I made to regex was that, like, it had seemed like for years and years and years, it had seemed like this impenetrable wall that I knew nothing about. And then one time, I think I was doing an emailing program for our own invoices, and for whatever reason, like, it was useful. Oh yeah, I think it was for pulling email addresses out of a a text, a large text file, and once that's a good background. Hang on, color Pac-Man, black and white Scott.
I like my new camera. I had a real dodgy camera for years. My laptop camera was not working very well. So I got this new camera, and I kind of like the black and white
aesthetic.
I watch a lot of old black and white 1950s sci-fi movies. So yeah, but it's strange because it's like I'm in black and white, but the background's not.
The creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah. There's some good animated ones going there. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Pac-Man.
Guys running around. That is actually so I found a video of Pac-Man running online on YouTube, and it's actually I think the same video side by side, because Pac-Man's only half the width of a screen, so it's actually two side by side, and then clip them as
yeah.
I've been playing around putting some other ones on there. What's that one? Oh, Star Wars.
Yep.
Nope, Space Invaders.
If you want to run the old programs, there's a program called Longbow, and you can run any of the programs on Windows 11, 10 and 11.
What sort of programs, Bob?
Well, I bought one of their products, was Converter, to run AutoCAD. 2006 is not, you cannot run it on Windows 7 up. So this program runs 2006 on Windows 11, no problem.
So it sounds like it's not like a full virtual machine, like a version of Windows 95 running. It's just It just runs just one program, does it?
Yes, you just run a program,
Right.
and you can run. There's a couple of other ones. I haven't tried them. There was a Reviver, and it comes in 3 versions, but the home user is $99.99. It used to be free, but you can run all the games and everything with it.
Right. So like Windows, what, 1 through 95 kind of
Yes, all the way
games?
back. Yeah. And I tried running early AutoCAD 2000 wait a minute.
Right.
Version 8, I think it was. No problem.
Bob, you mentioned the 2 there, Reviver. What was the other one you mentioned? Longbow?
Reviver is the one that you can run all the like Adobe programs like CS1, 2,
Yep.
and anything like that, plus the games.
Right.
Yeah.
And Longbow, it's the same thing, or?
That's Longbow is the company software, and it's got Converter, which is AutoCAD, Previewer, which is an AutoCAD drawing previewer, and the other one is Reviver, which runs all the other programs.
Right. Interesting. I'll have a look at that one.
got,
I run a lot of old programs through old virtual machines. But what I've been finding lately is, so if you go back about 10 years ago, I used to use VMware
hang on, John.
Server, and it worked great for old versions of Windows. So you could create a virtual machine, put Windows version 1 through 95, 98, that sort of era, and it would run perfectly. And now they just don't work. If you create a VMware server, you tell it to create an IBM virtual PC, and you try and install Windows, you find all sorts of things don't work. You know, like the mouse, you move your mouse a millimeter and it jumps 2 inches on the screen, and copy and paste doesn't work, and yeah. So I might take a look at that Reviver.
Yeah, it's Longbow is the company name.
So it's Longbow Reviver, is it?
Longbow, yes. Longbow Software is
Right.
the company, and Longbow Reviver is one of the programs.
Nice. So you install that as a program, and then if you want to install some software, you sort of launch that first, and then
it automatically
install.
Once you install it, it automatically launches itself first, then loads the program on top.
Right. Nice. We'll take a look at that.
I put a link in the chat for that.
Right. Got it. Yep. Thanks.
I've got another one that may be of use. ViewScan, VUESCAN, and it enables you to use all your old scanners, the ones that haven't got the drivers for Windows 10, 11, 7. At ViewScan, you can run practically anything. Right. Thousands of drivers in it.
So that was VUE scan, right?
VUESCAN.
Right. Nice, nice. It's got drivers built in. I've been struggling with drivers this week, trying to track down old drivers. So, yeah, that's interesting.
And there's another one too that you can use with plotters. I can't remember the name of it at present, but it's similar to ViewScan, but other company, so all the old plotters can be used as well. I was interested in that because I've got an A0 plotter, Aussie Schlumberger. I haven't had a go at changing, running it yet.
I still have a copy of Epson Scan from, I don't know, like Windows 98 or something or other. Still works with a couple of scanners we have here. Luckily, fingers crossed.
I've given up on scanners. I just use my phone now. Just take a picture, it creates a PDF.
I use it a lot for working out drawings. So you take a photograph or scan an image, then bring it into AutoCAD as a background. And if you know some dimensions, it's easy to get the sizes.
Hey, Paul, you're talking about trying to write a Delphi preprocessor, write your own language.
They're both
Paul mentioned in an email that he would like to kind of create his own language. But basically have it like create a new language, but it ends up converting it to Delphi code or something like that. So how are you going in that, Paul?
It's only I mean, I've had it in my head for a long time, but this I'm thinking about this 30th anniversary thing a year from now, and so I figured I really need to start like at least looking at it. I mean, all I really would like to, I mean, it's syntactic sugar, right? It's like if we can do things that we just write something simple, but then just becomes standard Delphi, it means like there's no difficulty in making that in the, I mean, not no difficulty, but there's, we're not majorly changing the compiler
Right.
to bring that into the language. It would be the, whatever, the parser stage of things. And, I'd like to be able to do like brackets A comma B equals a thing that returns two things, right? So like, like we would have to like declare a record with A and B in it, and then like, something of type my record becomes equal to this other thing that returns a record. In C++, it's called structured bindings and destruct, whatever they call it. The other half of it's structured binding. There's a few different things. Anyway, I'll try and come up with some examples later. But really, all I want is just to like see the language move forward a little bit from where it's been. Obviously, they've been extending all our platforms and iOS and Linux and all that sort of stuff, which obviously must be pretty hard to keep track of. Being mobile is like a moving target the entire time, but
Right.
it's just something I'd like to see.
Have you had a look at Arnold C?
Is it a language?
It's a language. It's pretty abbreviated, but it's a language based on Arnold Schwarzenegger. So it has like a go-to statement, but the go-to is get to the chopper.
John has a whole. Don't you, John? You have a whole panoply of exotic languages stored away somewhere.
Yeah. The end statement is enough talk. You can print things. That's talk to the hand. And the end of the other final end is you have been terminated.
Yeah,
Don't think you can do too much with it, but yeah, apparently you can actually download it and get it running, but yeah, it's very limited.
So probably very little accounting software written in Arnold C.
Yeah, not a lot.
If I can share my screen, I found those videos about Windows 10 and 11. So let's try.
You might want to check with John Walker, make sure, because you muted him and.
Oh, he should be able to unmute him.
Yeah, but he was having problems with his mic.
I meant to say, John, your microphone was working when your mate was there.
Yeah.
So
I'm talking to you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but that's on the phone. Try unmuting in Zoom.
Turn audio up.
Say that again.
I haven't got a microphone. I can't find a microphone.
Well, we were hearing you, John.
Yeah, but that was through my phone.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, I muted the phone, but we still heard you.
Okay.
What am I talking about? I can unmute you, so sorry about that.
Unmute.
No, you can only ask him to unmute.
Right.
I think, John, I think you might be working now.
Try
Your
now,
mic
John.
might be working through Zoom. No, now it actually shows no microphone next to John, so I think it's recognized that there's no mic at all.
Oh, that's a weird.
Okay. Oh, you.
All right. Well, the phone's working. No worries. The phone's working.
If anyone has that problem, another thing you can do is start. So run Zoom on your PC so you can see big screens and things, but then create a second session on your phone. Just use Zoom on your phone, connect to the same meeting, and then you can use the mic on your phone. So we can see your screen now, Paul.
So I've had bandwidth issues in the past, but we now have a, what do you call it, like a booster thing down here. So let's hope. Oh, the header on the Zoom header thing gets in the way of the address bar. Let's try, where are we? This one. So Windows 10.
You're determined to hold on to Windows 10 as long as possible.
Can everybody hear that? Or maybe I didn't share audio. Do you know where that is, Scott?
I can hear you.
Did you hear the video playing? Video settings. I think when I share the screen,
I thought I heard it for a second, but then it cut out.
You're in luck. Microsoft's got a dog.
I think there's a hotkey. It's Alt A. Alt A enables or disables your mic.
But when you share screen, I think you have to choose sharing audio as well. All right, let me stop this and let me try it again.
I think there's an option somewhere about optimizing for sharing video. I don't know where that is.
Okay. Let's share screen and choose that one, and then somewhere here, share sound. Okay, it's over. Yep. Okay. Optimize for video clip. Yep. Okay. So can we see my screen now?
Can see your screen.
To force everyone over to Windows.
Can hear that. That worked, Paul. Can hear the audio.
I'll go down, go up.
Are these the youngins?
Whoa, you're the outsider?
Yes.
What are you doing here?
Stealing all your stuff passing through.
Okay, see ya. Hello.
They're very polite.
Sorry, guys.
Well, we can hear audio. We can't see any.
Did you know that it's possible?
Are these
Did you know that it's possible?
Are these the youngins?
If you're determined to hold on to Windows 10 as long as possible, you're in luck. Microsoft's got a dogged determination to force everyone over to Windows 11. 10's dying in 16 months, and with all of the exclusive AI features, 11 is starting to make market share gains again. And with the death of 10 in October 2025, also comes the death of security updates, leaving your PC vulnerable to the elements, unless, of course, you pay Microsoft for the privilege of staying safe. But there's now a company promising to offer micro patches for Windows 10, both for free and for paid pro versions. And while Microsoft's asking hundreds of dollars to keep you covered for a max of 3 years, Zero Patch is asking for around $25 per year for support until 2030, a full 2 years more than Microsoft. Zero Patch provides these security updates already, and sometimes it even beats Microsoft in making sure that the operating system is free from certain security risks. Obviously, you'll need to do your own due diligence to make sure your system is safe. If you're determined to hold on to Windows 10 as long
So I put the link to this video. I can keep hearing myself.
So there's a bit of an echo of you coming through, probably related to your having John come through on your
I'm
phone.
just taking that off speaker at the moment.
But we can still hear you reasonably clearly. It's like a little bit of an echo in the background. It's probably more bothering to you than it is to us.
Okay. I put the link to this video in the chat. And the second one is this one.
If you want to install Windows without all of Microsoft's nonsense,
This is like a minimal Windows 11, I think.
it's actually really easy to do and free and legal. I'm not trying to sell you anything here. You can get a Windows 11 ISO file from Microsoft directly for free, since Microsoft just gives them away, and then create your own installation flash drive. But to create that drive, you're going to want to use a program called Rufus, which is a free and open source program that's designed to create bootable drives. Because when you use Rufus with a Windows 11 ISO, it'll present you with the ability to customize your Windows installation, which allows you to remove the requirement for needing more than 4 gigs of RAM, the TPM 2.0 chip, and even the need to have an online Microsoft account. And especially with how hard Microsoft's been working to take away your ability to use a local account, this might become a necessity if you want any chance of not just giving them all your data. You can still activate Windows normally with a legit license, but this should make the install process a lot simpler. If you want to
So there, that was 2 little bits that I thought were interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting to mention a local account. I've finally gotten to a point where I've given up trying to create local accounts. You know, I managed to do it with Windows 10 pretty easily, but Windows 11, they just made it harder and harder. And yeah, I've finally given up and have to go with the new laptops just using a Microsoft account. Which I find a bit annoying, but
One of the advantages of the Microsoft login is that you can copy and paste across different machines. Like I heard that's something to do with Windows 11, but
I don't know much about. I think we really need Les Fox to come and do a bit of a talk about it. So this new Copilot thing, I understand, is an AI that basically does a lot of stuff. Like you can talk to it just with speech, and just tell it anything you want. I don't know much about it. I think it's got like, I want to write a document, so write a resume for me. Or you can feed it things and say, okay, here's a bunch of documents that explain who I am and what I do. I want you to rewrite a resume based on that. So I think it'll do that kind of thing. But yeah, it's just a big unknown. I don't think any of us have played around with it. It sounds like Les Fox is the closest that we have. It'll be good to get Les Fox to come on board sometime and do a bit of a demonstration.
yeah, it was a big help in the last meeting with, was it Jeff talking last time? Yeah, Les was at least 50% leading the meeting, was very helpful. We're in July, right? July. WADUG. Chat.
Paul, I will send you a reminder to follow up with Les Fox about maybe doing a bit of a demo of Copilot.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think his usage of Copilot was in the Visual Studio Code context, something probably. But yes, yeah, we spoke to him briefly. We bullied him briefly last meeting and asked him if he could talk even briefly about how he was using it.
Yeah. All right. I've just drafted an email, so you'll get a reminder about that.
Cool, thank you. I just put another link in about the Z80 processor.
Does anyone know what is Delphi doing anything with AI or ChatGPT or integrating with ChatGPT?
They have
I mean,
said
given it, the AI is just like the big buzzword of the month right now. So, yeah, I'm kind of expecting Embarcadero to do something.
they've said I mean, different stage. I can't remember where they were talking. Like at one stage, David Millington said that, like, without officially, endorsing any particular like information, etc., etc., but they were working on a 64-bit IDE instead of the 32-bit one that we've got now, or that, the wording might have been like you could take it as a high probability that would be something that we would be like
It'd certainly be high.
pursuing.
It'd be high on their radar. I mean, it's just the hot topic right now.
But yeah, they said something similar in the AI direction.
Yeah, the other big thing that we've been asking Bakdir about is WebAssembly, Delphi generating WebAssembly, which lets you run an app in a web browser kind of somehow magically natively. I've got less confidence in that happening. I think that might be too difficult, but a lot of the AI is at the moment is just about, if Embarcadero were providing us with some units or drivers or something that let you connect to various AIs, and it would take care of the connection, authentication, that kind of thing. That'd be a help as it is, but I'm hoping even more.
Yeah, have you seen the stuff from Jared Davison on Facebook? Both here and actually, so John Assenden's been posting about QTX quite a bit recently, and it looks, getting very developed, like very developed. And I don't know, he seems to have been spending the last week on running an AI locally.
Right.
Where are we? He's made.
And anyone's interested in that, John posts quite a bit on Facebook. A lot of interesting Delphi posts. So connect to him on there, and he's in a couple of Delphi groups that are also have a lot of traffic on Facebook.
I'll share again. Let's see. Oh, what the hell?
Hey, John, are you still there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, John.
Yep. Hey, I've got a wee thing here on ChatGPT and Copilot. What's the difference between them? I can read it if you want.
Yes, please.
Okay. ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot are both artificial intelligence technologies that were developed with the intent of helping you accomplish tasks and activities faster and more efficiently. While they may seem similar, there are significant differences between the two. What is ChatGPT? ChatGPT is a natural language processing technology that uses machine learning, deep learning, natural language understanding, and natural language generation to answer questions or respond to conversations. It is designed to mimic human conversation by understanding your question or comment and responding in an engaging and conversational way. Developed by OpenAI, an AI research and deployment company, ChatGPT was launched in November 2022. The GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, which means it's been trained on a vast amount of human language by way of data from the internet. It is available as an API and through end-user-facing technologies such as ChatGPT. ChatGPT works like a chatbot, as it was designed to hold a conversation with you. After giving it a question or prompt, ChatGPT uses machine learning algorithms to understand the context of the conversation and generate the appropriate response. To produce a response, it predicts the next word in a given sequence based on patterns it's learned from human language. The more details you provide in your prompt, the more precise answers ChatGPT can offer. Now, here's a non-exclusive list of tasks that ChatGPT can help with. Compose essays, emails, and cover letters. Create lists. Describe art in detail. Here we go, guys. Write code. Summarize content. Create poems and song lyrics. Build your resume and search the internet. Now that's all about ChatGPT. So basically, it's a human-human conversation flow. Okay, now Microsoft Copilot's a bit different. Is an AI-powered digital assistant that aims to provide personalised assistance to users for a range of tasks and activities. It doesn't just connect ChatGPT with Microsoft 365. It combines the power of large language models with your data in the Microsoft Graph, including your calendar, emails, chats, documents, meetings, and more, and the Microsoft 365 apps to turn your words into the most powerful productivity tool on the planet. Embedded in the Microsoft 365 apps you use every day, including Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams, and more, Copilot works alongside you to help unleash your creativity, unlock productivity, and up-level your skills. Learn more about it at Microsoft Copilot Help and Learn. And that's all it says about Copilot. So, human to human, you want ChatGPT.
I think there's someone on Twitter was suggesting, whoops, just a second, that Claude 3 or whatever it is from, who's that from? Microsoft? Was much better at coding, apparently, they said, than ChatGPT. Claude.ai. Anthropic, that's the company that runs although the person talking had to pronounce it as cloud, which gave me a chuckle. Has anyone got a question we could try asking? How write a simple example of a Delphi program and a unit test for the single function it implements. Try that.
It's got free, professional, and team payment plans.
Oh. Say something else again, John.
I said it's got free, professional, and team payment plans.
Is everybody hearing John just then?
Yes, very well, thank you. Hi, guys.
Oh, hello. Oh, well, I didn't need to have you on speaker at all, John, so my phone is figuring this out somehow, and whatever, it's good. Okay, this is good. This is even better. G'day, Peter.
And
Nice to
Peter,
have
I
you.
can't see Peter. Oh, there he is. Oh, there. Yeah. Gotcha, mate.
I just mentioned that someone who's a good coder had suggested that Claude 3 was much better at coding than GPT was, so I just gave an example to ask it to write a simple Delphi program and a simple unit test for that program. So we've got a function, calculate circle area based on the radius, and does it call it? Yeah, okay. And the d-unit x test. Okay, so it makes this, to test things, it puts them in a class, and then the things that you're testing are methods in the class. Anybody that knows I'm talking rubbish can please just intervene and correct me. And it's even, because it's in floating, what do you call it? Floating point numbers, it's taking into account some sort of error, is it? Or is it? No, that's just, it's not used anywhere. Oh no, it is. Assert R equal, okay. Expected pi, circle area 1. Expected actual epsilon. Okay, so I guess d unit x automatically has some sort of what do you call it? Accuracy measure for comparing floating point numbers. We got a radius 1, a radius 5, and a radius 0. Okay. That's kind of cool. To run this test, you need to set up a d-unit x test project and include both the main program unit and the test unit. That's what is the role of the epsilon variable in the test code?
Oh,
That's not bad.
it's not bad at all.
That's eerily accurate. What arguments does the d unit x r equal function take? Should we try asking the same for ChatGPT? Let me figure out. Is it just chat or is it OpenAI? Is it? Get started. Hang on. What do we got here? ChatGPT now has memory. Hang on. Same question. Claude was faster. Okay, Claude was a lot faster. Mind you, this is, well, I was going to say this is the free version of ChatGPT, but so is the other one free. So what do we got? We got a main program. Oh, I see. They put the function in a different unit, which is, that's a choice. And then we get to the test. Test framework. This is looking dodgy. Okay. Kind of splitting things up a lot here. So we've still got the class with the function to be tested on in it. This is kind of convoluted compared to the other one. It's written its own check equals. That's not using. Okay, right. Hang on. Use the DUnit X framework for testing. Okay. Same main, same function unit. Still got all these that like this whole thing seems unnecessary, that one, because it's just calling the other one. And we don't have any epsilon. I wonder if that's actually part of DUnit X or one of them is hallucinating. Does anybody know off the top of their head what the actual parameters for R equal are? integer. I don't know. I'll have to get back to let you guys know which is which on the floating point numbers thing. I guess we could just ask ChatGPT. Can anybody know if you can move this maybe there we go. All right, there. Woo, better. Thank you. ChatGPT. What arguments does the D unit X function?
Hey, Paul, you want to share your screen so we can see what you're doing?
Am I not?
No, I don't think so.
Anybody? Yeah, I should be sharing at the moment.
Oh, really? Or maybe I'm just not. Oh, you are. Sorry, I had the wrong setting. My bad. Sorry.
I mean, I'm dumb. I would definitely do that.
Whoops, sorry. Don't stress. Oops.
No. Good. So yeah, floating point comparison, R equal expected, a double, a tolerance. So it's interesting. It knows all about this, but it didn't use it in its example. Oh no, okay, it's doing integers, not floating points. Okay, fair enough. Change your example program to use 2 units and a floating point function example. That's 2 units, is it? Thanks. Okay, so it's put in a tolerance here. Yeah. But I don't know if you were online with us, Peter, when I started with this Claude AI. From what was the company called? Starts with A. But the whole process just was very immediate. It just came up with the right answer in the first.
So what? As in giving you solutions to questions.
I'd started by saying that someone on Twitter who's a good programmer had said that they thought ChatGPT was garbage for generating code, and that Claude was excellent.
Right.
So, and I hadn't investigated any further; it just came to me, and so I thought we could try it out. And I just I'd mentioned unit tests a little in our email, so I just asked it write a simple example of a Delphi program and a unit test for the program having like one function in it, and it came up with the main part and a function up here, nice and neat, and then a dunitx test for it, putting it into a class so that you could then do the test cases, radius 1, radius 5, radius 0, and that was it, and then explained it. And I was looking at the tolerance, because of floating point numbers, it's got this tolerance thing going on. So I was just testing it to say what's the role of this variable
Yeah.
And I would say this is a perfect like answer, talking about floating point precision and rounding errors and etc. And then asked, I didn't know if it was dreaming about it, so I asked it what arguments d unit x assert r equal takes, and it reckons it's a
Oh yeah.
expected number, an actual an actual result, tolerance, and then the text string. And then ChatGPT, the whole process was because like
Oh really?
just exactly the same question, and it split this into two files. So I put this function, separately to the main unit, which is, okay, or whatever. But then it divided the testing into
Whole bunch of units. Oh right.
well, no, actually, here it was just basically kind of creating its own tests. And I was like, oh, that's what it's doing. And no, use d unit x. And we still had the two main files, and then we got these two here. And then I was saying, haha, you haven't put the tolerance in there. But then I realized it's using integers and doesn't need the tolerance thing. So then I asked it to do a floating point example, and anyway, just I'm going to be trying out the other one a bit more in the future, I think.
I'm getting too old for this AI stuff.
Well, it's going to be taking care of you, Peter, in the next 20 years, so
There's one over here for me, right up there.
you got to start making friends with it right now.
Right, yeah, so that they want to look after me rather than use me for Silent Green.
Well, I mean, it's not mutually exclusive, is it?
Use me for a power cell.
Scott had asked about AI, and I mentioned two people. Nope. This is John, John Assenden, the prolific QTX guy. So 6th of July, what's that? A few days ago, he says he's been like looking at, I think, local, like using AI models on your local desktop or whatever. I haven't read this in detail. I just saw that he was doing it. This is some sort of like graphical, like model creator or something. Comfy UI web front for stable diffusion. So maybe I'll have a look into that and report back. But he had two other. It's not where I normally have the monitor. Two other posts about it. A 40 gigabyte AI model locally on my laptop. Bad idea. 1 word per second output. I saw a video from someone else showing oh no, Jeff did it. I can't remember if it was in a meeting or when we were just talking one-to-one, that he went to the ChatGPT website and asked for something or other, and it came down pretty quick. But then he had something running locally, and it was kind of coming out like a 1980s modem text just across the screen like this. so it was a lot slower. So now I've completely lost track of what our very vague topics were going to be. I don't think you were here when we mentioned Windows 10 and 11, Peter. But there's some links in the chat. One was a company that was going to very cheaply support your Windows 10 security-wise up to 2030. And the other one was about installing Windows 11 with it, but stripping it of a lot of the guff. And
the guff, as in like redundant code or something.
Lisbon's as well, yeah.
Well, I used to have a lot of that before we had things like generics. So nice when generics came in. Yeah, Frank's got problems with he's just moved house, so we just at his house for the first time now. First time we get to see it.
2 days.
2 days.
Yeah.
It's a second day here.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's much roomier, that's for sure. It's spacious. Yeah, but he's got some connection problems, so his emails aren't connecting, so he can't get fresh emails. Are we muted?
No, I can hear you.
Oh,
Definitely.
there we go. Yep. I just wondered.
No, absolutely.
Cocoa pods. Apple cocoa pods. Apple and cocoa together. Did that work?
Oh, there you go. Get rid of that. This was posted, the UK guy, or Glenn, who's really good guy, on Facebook quite a bit, posted this to the UK group, and
they said insecure. They said threaten supply chain. That's what these code layers are. Yes. Whoa.
Yes, we knew that.
Yeah. Apple, yes, totally secure.
Thanks.
they said,
There's a code injection. Oh no, come on. People should know about code injection. I mean, I used to do code injection up until about 20 years ago. I was like, oh, look at, I get it now. But I mean, I was young. I made silly mistakes, but that was a long time ago. That sort of thing should be taught at universities now. I think it wasn't taught. Oh, no, I didn't mention it. Actually, no, maybe I didn't do some. I think I did it because we didn't have parameters. That's what it was. We didn't actually have parameters, so we just had to construct our squeal.
there was an SSH, no, SS, yeah, SSH, not SSL.
So there's this protocol invented about 15 years ago called Morph, and it functions fundamentally differently from all other protocols because the messages change in transit. The topology changes in transit. All these things change, which is why I call it Morph. But once security is put in there, which I haven't done because I haven't dared, then it should be, just layer upon layer of security. of security eventually. It should be pretty secure to use. You don't have to worry about SSH in the same way.
I listened to a few things about this SSH thing, and it was like it wasn't like it was like a subdued kind of vulnerability, because it was requiring you to log in, do something. I think logging in multiple instances, and just hope that it kind of things fell your way as far as timing went between some sort of a data race or code execution or whatever. So I think they had to execute it like 10,000 times in order to get the effect they wanted. And then something had been fixed, or one thing had been fixed, and then it took them like 6 months or something or other of trying in order to make the thing fall in that particular way. So it was it was being you know, like, what do you call it, shared around quite a bit, but was possibly less of a, you know, big deal than
Because it's very, very hard to trigger something like that.
Yeah.
Usually that sort of thing, though, is, I mean, they are so secure now that it's the humans who are the vulnerabilities.
Oh, the polyfill one. Do people know about the polyfill one? That one's good.
Polyfill?
There we go. 4 days ago. I forget what this service this thing was providing. Was something to like support older web browsers, or something that a lot of browsers don't need, but like some browsers would. And the website, it's like the function, the service that people needed. The people who wrote that didn't own the website that hosted it or something or other. And anyway, like someone else, like from China or something or other, took over the domain name. And then, so you've got JavaScript that goes out on the internet, grabs whatever code and uses it on the web page. Well, it had extra stuff in there. And yeah, it was affecting like 380,000 other like websites that all referred to this one website. I didn't think it was just like a redirect. I thought there was some other. Okay, so these redirections only took place at certain times and certain visitors and all the rest of it. Oh, okay, it was the domain and its GitHub repository were sold to a Chinese company. Okay, well, that's not how I heard it, but
Fun and null. Well, as long as you know you want it to be null, because otherwise it's not so great when you expect it to be not null. I'm just looking at that name there, fun null.
Yeah.
Like, oh, null pointer exception again.
But maybe that means like tiger in Chinese.
No, what's tiger again? I should know tiger. If I hear it, I'll probably go, oh, that's right.
Were you going to teach there at some stage? You were thinking
Yeah,
about it?
I was gonna go to Guangzhou. I had contracts signed and everything. Done my education, done my teacher's education and qualification and that, and everything was ready except to just go there. But then she decided that he wanted more Chinese babies, and the education was too expensive, and that's why people weren't having babies. So he decided that all extra curricular, sort of all tutoring should be banned. So there are all these English teachers and whatever teachers from overseas that suddenly were jobless. I still had my contract, but it didn't matter because I wasn't supposed to teach anymore.
Who decided that?
Well, guess who's Mr. Number One.
Okay.
This is China, isn't it, Peter?
Yep. And then after that came the Chinese zero tolerance, which was seriously zero tolerance. Made Melbourne look like a holiday resort. And then yeah, and when all that was lifted, I didn't want to go. Yeah. For me, the boat had sailed. I think they still wanted me, but yeah, no. There are too many people saying don't go, including Chinese people saying don't go because I don't have enough network and language skills in case that sort of thing happens again.
Peter, wasn't that around COVID era as well?
Yeah, so it was just after COVID. In fact, it was 21 actually, because 2020 I got to know. Yeah, middle of 20. It's about this time 3 years ago. Yeah. So China was still isolated from the rest of the world, and we were just looking at opening up, not yet. Imagine that we've only been open what 2 years? China's only been open like 1 year, something like that.
Funny, yeah, but we're coming back. We're coming back.
But it just feels so long ago. Doesn't it feel long ago, guys?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's 4 years.
4 years since the major one, but then we only opened up like beginning of the year would be 3 years. So it's just like about 3.5 years ago we opened up. China took probably about a year or two longer. When was the World Soccer World Cup? Because that's what forced the Chinese to open the borders.
Oh, that was during pandemic, wasn't it?
Yeah. Sort of, but people from all over the world went there to Qatar or wherever it was without masks, and the Chinese got to see that, and they got really pissed off that they were still trapped inside their houses. So the government said, "Oh, you know what? We're all good now. You can go outside."
Was that in? Well, there seems to be one on now, so I guess it's 4 years ago. No, couldn't have been 4 years ago.
3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be 3.5. It would be maybe 2 or 3.
Was it in Beijing, or was that the Olympics?
Oh, that one was in, I don't know, it was Middle East somewhere. Qatar? I don't know. I don't do sports. I don't know.
2022. That's what I was thinking of, the Olympics.
There you go. Yeah. So when they saw that, yeah, July. So 2 years ago now, and that was when China opened up. And so I think I got a request even like 1 year ago. Do you want to go? Come to China and teach English? Not so sure. Japan seems safer.
While you're, I'm hoping you'd turn up, Peter, because I've mentioned this Tiny Big Games, and this is their Discord server.
Yep.
But I got this by text message or something, I think, and this is pretty cool stuff. So this is, I think, might be even Free Pascal, perhaps.
Oh yes.
note the guy said was something about learning about shaders.
Yeah,
Um,
it is. That sort of thing is not simple.
there's some more here.
Throwing up polygons on the screen is one thing, but that's not so complicated from what I understand. But from what I gather, but when it comes to shaders, it starts getting really complex.
See, all this has been done in Lazarus.
Lazarus. Okay.
There's another one.
Oh, that's that library. The Lazarus is a graphics library.
I should have.
Listen, yes.
That looks nice.
Oh, yes.
Lots of little reflections on the boxes.
Very nice. Yeah.
I think there's another one that's small. Uh-oh. This one.
So if I actually manage to get around to completing that RTS demo, it's not going to look pretty like this, because the idea is to teach business. Like I don't want it to be dependent upon third-party libraries. I want to work with just vanilla Delphi.
Yeah.
Although ironically, vanilla is a very expensive spice. But anyway. Yeah.
Yes, it takes a bit of thinking.
Yeah.
But this isn't the guy Jared, but this is like someone else, like in conversation with him, you know, fellow developer on the. Oh, I think what I wanted was because the YouTube. Where is
Now, does Delphi come with 3D objects like boxes and that?
FMX I think does.
Something very common before about that. I have not done that before.
Warp gate.
That is so Commodore 64.
So this is Lazarus. You can see up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Fancy the way the planet.
Actually, I'll put the link to this guy's channel in the chat.
Oh, the planet was a disk.
What's the guy's name? Guava code. He's got, oh yes, no, rings, this one, looks, it looks kind of fun.
Yeah, but that's got smoothing on smooth polygons, and it's got the shine to it. That's nice.
but we don't tend to see a lot of like.
No.
I mean, there must be a community of people, you know, that are into this sort of thing. But you know, this is not what I grew up with thinking of. Sorry, Frank. Was that you, Frank?
Yeah, no, it was two saying that the dinner's ready.
Oh, right.
But
that's shortly here.
That's I didn't know that was available in Delphi yet.
What's that? Sorry.
Like that flying car, that's got 3D objects. Yes, that's with a complex mesh, and it's got I don't know about much in the way of texturing because they're just different objects, perhaps. For but then you've got the shine. You see how the roof is all shiny, like that. So you've got the reflections, and you've got the smoothing because it's not like they aren't hard edges. They're smooth. So that's a few features there already in that.
Yeah.
This must be. I think this is going to take us to his GitHub page.
When it comes to things like, what's the name of that tool he was using? Not Delphi, it was, what's it called?
Free Pascal.
Yeah, Free Pascal. How does that compare to Delphi? Do we know?
I think I mean, as far as like compiling to other platforms, it's amazing because you can go to like Raspberry Pis and Haiku and what's the Linuxy thing that starts with B?
Well, there's not the like Arduino, not Arduino, surely.
Like the ultimate hippie operating system.
Like no.
Yeah, more Linux than Linux almost.
Right.
Like not Berkeley.
But in terms of libraries, like the user interface libraries, is good.
Oh, they don't. Do they? I'm not sure they have anonymous functions. They only got generics that.
I think they do generics. They do.
Yeah, generic.
I think they do. Yeah.
And what about attributes and the whole rest of the RTTS stuff?
Good question. I mean, we
that
should ask Graham
really
Grieve. We should ask Graham Grieve because he uses it as a like medical databases and like what do you call it, system communications or something. And I think he's all in Free Pascal most of the time. And
is this something we can have as something for next month? Like a sort of. Have we had this before, like a side-by-side comparison?
No.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, sure.
We've been called to food a couple of times, so we're sort of feeling, yeah, exactly, getting in trouble.
What did you say? You said not annotations. What are they called?
Attributes.
Attributes. Thank you.
Good for the old.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Is that Free Pascal or is that? Oh, that is Free Pascal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'd be happy to get onto Graham and see if he would.
Yes, it's a demo.
Give a rundown about how he finds it and what the differences are and that sort of thing.
if just a little side, in a couple of months or so, I might be looking for another job. So if anyone needs another old veteran, and I might be available.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that when COVID came along, I joined a lot of other different, online meetups, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a very American thing. Like, they have their groups together, and there's, I mean, the Python group here in WA did it, but I'd never experienced it in like the Delphi world. But you start a meeting, how's everyone going? Anyone looking for work? Anyone got work? Anyone wanting people? It's like
Right.
there's really, all these meetings. It was like a culture shock to me, and there's a starts with T. Doesn't matter. There's so not Atlanta. What's the you got California, and then there's a state next to it that isn't Texas.
Tennessee.
Starts with A.
Oh, Alberta, Alabama, Al Pacino. I don't know.
Anyway, there's guys there that have a functional programming meetup. Then I had met them and ended up there, and ended up speaking to a guy who was like 70 something or other and been a university lecturer for a long time. And he like actually I was listening to and doing a little bit of editing with some courses that he was offering live, during the semester. And but yeah, he was always saying, telling these people, like, come to the lectures, come to the, like, whatever the industry meetup things that are on like once a month or whatever, like,
Maybe that's
like,
what I should do. I might get a lot better pay doing some work for someone in the US and then here in Perth.
Oh, that reminds. I mean, there are so many. Can I suggest? Like in Perth, there's a Python meetup. There's a Rust meetup that's been very inactive. It had 3 meetings and then
it's getting rusty. Yep.
Yes. Okay, you score the day for that one. There's just been a start up of a GitHub meetup.
Hello.
We're in trouble. Yeah, I need to go to dinner.
Please stop a little while for Victor have dinner.
Is anyone going to beat me up?
No. I'll be back in a little while. Oh, we'll be back in a little while. Okay.
I will post like the chat links and that sort of stuff, and there's different meetups that are here in Perth, and
thanks.
And also
we'll be back in a little while. We're just going to eat and then we'll come back.
I will give you a link to in an email to Amel, the guy I met who works for Horizon Digital, who apparently employed like 16 to 30 different developers, and who might end up at one of our meetings. Anyway, run away and get beaten up on my behalf. Today's been a bit all over the place content-wise, hasn't it? Just speak up if anyone wants to bring something up. Feel free.
I've got a Windows 11 question if anyone's actually using it. Not expecting.
Any of us actually using Windows 11?
Yeah, so a question I've got, I'm setting up a laptop for some friends, and so what I found is when you get the PC, you first start up, it's already got Windows 11 on there. You have to log on with a Microsoft account, which is a bit annoying instead of using a local account. But anyway, I did this and waited a couple of hours, and then I thought, right, I'm going to back up the whole of a C drive before I start doing anything on it. But I found the backup was massive. It didn't make any sense because it was like 50 gig more than what I was expecting. And what I found is when you first log on, so you go through the startup steps. I'm talking about setting up a PC from scratch with Windows, right? So you specify your time zone and all the rest. Got to put in your Microsoft account. It creates a local account based on that name. But then it also brings down all the files that are on your OneDrive cloud account.
Oh.
Pulls them all down, puts them on C drive. So my backup, instead of being just C with a base Windows install, has got 50 gig of OneDrive files on there. So I'm just wondering if anyone's come across that, and I'm trying to work out how do you. There must be a way to do it because on my laptop I've got OneDrive, but I've changed it so it stores all the files on a separate drive. It's not on C drive. So there must be a way to do this, but yeah, this is like it's built into Windows 11. I didn't install OneDrive. It just came with the laptop already there.
What if you if you go down in the down here somewhere, you get that little arrow to pop up the services that are running. You can tell OneDrive to turn off until you reboot the computer again.
Well, I can tell it to pause the syncing. Yeah, but yeah, I think you're right. Maybe go in there. I might be able to move it to a different drive.
Like, have I got it at the moment?
I mean, I really want. I think what I need to do is redo the thing from scratch again. But as soon as you start it up, like what you do is you keep it offline. Don't put it on the network at all. And then the first thing when it comes up, you before you get it on the network, go to that and then tell it to pause the syncing. So at least it won't do it straight away.
Is this a Microsoft backup? Is it
no, so it's just a new laptop that came pre-installed with Windows. So when you first power it on, it asks you to set up the PC, and it forces you to log on with a Microsoft account instead of creating a local account. And then it decides just to synchronize everything and pull everything down locally.
Oh.
So, yeah, I think now I've spoken through it. I think that's the best approach. I'll basically reset the PC from scratch, and before I get it on the network, I will tell it to pause the OneDrive syncing. Yeah, okay, that helps. Thanks.
Did it come with 365 on board?
I think it might do. When I go through the menu, there's
OneDrive is linked to 365.
Yeah, so I've got a 365 account, and I think it's already pulled down some of that as well.
Is this to basically mirror an old computer to a new laptop?
No, this is so I've got a brand new computer, and it's got Windows 11 pre-installed. So when you start it up, you have to log on to a Microsoft account, and then it just starts pulling things down. So I ended up with my my C drive was about 150 gig in size. And I'm trawling around the net going, well, how big? And everyone's saying, well, 64 gig C drive should be sufficient. So, all right, well, that all helps. Yeah, I think I've got to go back from scratch.
What's it pulling down exactly, though?
Basically, everything that was on my cloud drive. So OneDrive is a cloud drive, just like Dropbox or Google Drive. So there was just a ton of files. There were like videos on there.
Yeah.
Mainly a lot of videos that they'd been shared to me or I'd shared to other people. This is not my laptop. I'm setting up for a friend. So
yeah. But
they've given me their cloud logon. I didn't ask it to pull all these down. It just decided to suck them all down and put them on my C drive.
Right.
And I can't even go, okay, well, I'll just delete it, because when you delete them from your C drive, it deletes them from the cloud drive as well. So there is a way to say, okay, you tell it which folders you want to pull down. But yeah, anyway, I think I've got my head around it now. So I'm going to reset the whole laptop, And this time, before I get it on the network, I'm going to tell it to disable the syncing of OneDrive. I'm not liking Windows 11. I've tried this a few times. Every time I've tried using Windows 11, I haven't liked it. But I think it's time we've just got to suck it up and move on to it. Windows 10 is getting a bit old in the long in the tooth. Got to do it.
Yeah. ChatGPT thinks maybe stop thinking.
Well, I have another problem where I'm setting up a laptop for a friend. The problem is they're quite old and they're used to Windows 10. So moving into Windows 11 is going to be, quite difficult for them mentally. So I thought, well, I'll try Windows 11, but yeah, it might actually, I might have to turn around and actually put Windows 10 on this, just to, so there's no learning curve.
Yeah, I mean, is there a reason to go with 11?
No, it's just that when the laptop came, it was on there already. But yeah, I could wipe out the whole thing, put Windows 10 on there. And Windows 10 is still going to be supported until sometime late next year. And then, yeah, it seemed like you can pay some money to have it supported for a bit longer.
I think, or maybe you might have told me that Windows 11, I believe, can be like down shifted to Windows 10. Apparently, any.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind paying for a Windows 10 license key. I've got plenty of those I've already bought. So yeah, quite happy to just install Windows 10 on there. It just means you have to muck around with finding the right drivers and getting those all installed. But
for the actual computer, right? Gotcha.
Yeah, so for me, I think it's time for me to move to Windows 11 and just put up with it. But for the people I'm setting this other laptop up, I'm kind of leaning towards abandoning the install, going back to install Windows 10 on it. It's just too big a change. The thing that really stands out to me is you right click on something and now the obvious options aren't there anymore. You got to tell it, I'll go click on show me the other options, and then a different menu appears that looks different. And it's just, for people that are used to Windows 10, it's quite jarring. Instead of things like having, cut, copy, paste written in text in the menu, now there's a tiny little icon of like a pair of scissors.
Yeah.
And 2 bits of paper to represent copy, and the user has to know to mouse over those, and then you get a little pop-up saying, "Oh, this is cut, this is copy." It's it kind of makes sense in that it's made everything smaller, taking up less real estate on the screen. But I'm dealing with elderly people that have been using Windows for years, and just that one little thing is going to be difficult for them to deal with. Yeah. I'm going to get phone calls. I can't work out how to copy a folder. Okay, you got to right click. Now look for the thing that looks like 2 little bits of paper. I can't say, just click on copy. I've got to say, put your mouse over the little tiny picture of 2 bits of paper. No, not that one. The one next to it. No, the one next to that.
I think you can bring up the previous Windows 10 menus and the control panels. You can change it if you wish.
Yeah, I think there's some registry hacks that you can put in place, and I found there's some software that you can run. I don't really want to run any third-party software. I don't mind doing a registry hack because then I know what it is, but I don't want to install some software on the net that says, "Oh, if you run this, it brings back these options."
I don't think
from a security point of view.
I think you can do that in a setting somewhere.
Right, just in control panel. Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
I'll look out for that. Yeah, but yeah, just little things like the menu moving to the middle. It's not a big deal, but I'm talking about someone that struggles with finding any key on the keyboard. I get phone calls. Yeah, I can't find the any key. Where is the any key? Yeah, I can find Control. Yeah, so I'm thinking for that one, I might just put Windows 10 on there and knowing that it's maybe 2 years away before I've got to worry about moving them up to 11. It just seems like everything that used to be 1 click away is now 2 or 3 clicks away. So from my experience, I don't like it. I find it seems to slow me down.
Just thinking something. What were we just talking about? Nope, I don't know. Okay. Games. Oh, Vincent also posted just on the forum tonight that he has mentioned before about he doesn't like Adobe products, and at one Vincent Parrott, Final Builder, he, at least I think last year, he was wanting to, or a long-term project was changing all of his icons, and he was going through and making SVG icons so that they would scale up and down with resolution. But then at some point he decided that's not a great strategy, and linked to a really good article that sort of showed, it was like a design more than coding article, to show like at different resolutions, like the ideal icon might be like just say, for example, a person standing at a washing machine with holding up some clothes or something or other. But then as you get less detail, it's not just shrinking the same picture. It's like you lose, instead of a man, maybe instead of a person looking, maybe it's more of a stick figure and a rectangle over the top of a cube sort of thing. And then you go to a smaller, like the actual design of the icons at different resolutions, like, is more of an art than a mechanical thing. Actually, it's more than 1 year ago, because I was jokingly at that stage saying, "Oh, you can use a maybe there'll be some sort of an AI thing that could create your icons for you, different scale icons for you." Well, now you look at it these days, and probably it can be done, actually. But anyway, he posted on the forum again. I'll put in the chat. This affinity suite, I think, of products.
Serif Affinity, SERIF. Serif Affinity. I've got a link to it here. Just put that in the chat.
Cool.
And hello to Les Fox in the meantime.
Les Fox.
G'day. About the third attempt, I'm here. But I can't get the camera to go. So there you go.
But can you share a screen? Because we were talking about you.
Oh, yeah, no worries, mate. I can share a screen. Just hang on a second.
What were we talking about? Well, AI things that, Copilot.
Copilot. Oh, yeah, that's right. Copilot. I was going to do something about Copilot.
Yeah, you've been designated the Copilot wizard on account of you know how to spell it.
I've just begun to use it, so I'm not much of an expert in it. But
you're way ahead of us. Way ahead of us, Les. You're guru level compared to us. It
comes with if you're playing around with Microsoft, it comes with Microsoft. It comes with the new version of Edge. But unfortunately, the problem with it is that it's great during the day, but in the evening when America wakes up, it slows down pretty dramatically. So anyway, I got a screen here. I can share this screen with you if that's possible.
Yes,
Let's see,
please.
how do I do that? Share screen. Here we go, share screen. And the screen I want to share is that one. And I want to share audio with it too. Can I do that? How can I do that?
Yeah, we struggled with that, Les. Might take you a minute to work that out.
Yeah.
Paul, do you remember how you did that, the sharing the audio thing? Playback on video?
So when you share screen, you've got all some section there that says what, like, you want to do a window, you want to do one of multiple screens.
Oh, yeah, share sound. Got it. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Just got to look. All right. So so I'll share this screen if I can, which is this screen here. Yeah. Can you hear that and see that?
Yeah, got that.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let me give this a crack. Hang on, just wait 1 second while I just get something else up. Yeah. Now this afternoon, I was doing something because I'm doing my year-end accounts and all that rubbish, So I got a bit confused about exactly how you do a variation to something. So this is what I'll just try to emulate what I did this arvo. So I turned on a microphone. So can you hear the microphone?
We can hear you.
Yeah, you probably will. Anyway, we'll see what it says. So I'll say to the microphone, hang on, just let me stop. Stop this, stop responding. Yeah, here we go. I'll ask the question of it now. How do you make an adjustment to a reconciled value in Reckon accounts hosted?
To adjust a reconcile value in Reckon accounts hosted, follow these steps. Review transactions. First, review all transactions for errors or discrepancies. Reconcile account. Go to Transactions and then Reconcile. Review the account and select Start Reconciling. Finish reconciliation. After reviewing everything, choose Finish Now from the drop-down menu and then select Done. Adjusting entry. You'll see a message indicating that your account isn't balanced. Click the Add Adjusting Entry link to make the necessary adjustment. Remember to consult your specific account details and statements to ensure accurate adjustments. If you encounter any complications, consider seeking professional advice or assistance.
So are you finding you're talking to it a lot, Les?
Yeah, I am
tend to type
actually.
to it?
I actually find talking to it's quite handy because it's got a microphone built in, and the microphone's just alongside me, so it's faster than typing. And you heard all that interaction, didn't you? Yeah. All I asked it was a question, and then it went off and gave me that information. Now you can go on from there and ask it other sets of questions and other things. Is it perfect? Probably not, right. but it's okay. It kind of gets you on the right track.
You said this is built into Edge. Is that right? So you've
got
to go to
Edge.
Edge.
It's part of Edge.
To use this. It's not in.
Now wait a minute. It's
like
built into
Windows
Edge. Hang
taskbar.
on. Yeah, you'd have to check on that. It's built into my version of Edge, but I'm running a business version of Microsoft, so the Pro version. So I don't know because I need all the word capacity and everything because I'm doing a bit of that for at the moment. So I don't know if it comes with every version, but what you could do is just try out Edge and see how it goes. They have at the bottom of most screens, and I'm not sure whether that. I'm not sure if it's on screen, but if you get into Edge, it'll give you an opportunity to give it a try, even if you're not in the right version.
Can you show us again how you got to that? So where is it on the taskbar?
On the taskbar, you see up this top right-hand corner?
That's it, is it?
That's the thing there, yeah.
Right.
So you can switch it on, switch it off.
Have you found it built into Windows yet, or is it just within Edge?
Well,
no.
They
talk about having
if you go down the bottom, everything. Can you see the bottom end of my Windows thing here? There's a kind of preview version down at the bottom there. Yeah, I'll fire that up, and that's Copilot in preview mode. Now, whether it does the same sort of thing, it's still got all the same things here. You can speak to it, or you can you can type into it, or do whatever you want, or whatever you want with it. But it's kind of how would you say it? It's the sort of thing you think, well, how did I do that last time? And you just can't remember, how do you do it? Let's take another idiot question. How do you do a multiplication sign in Excel?
you know what the back end is,
My,
Les?
my problem is I kept talking. I should have stopped talking when I asked the question. Let's try again. See, now here's cancelling. You see how the old window comes on at night. I think we're sort of further down the pecking order during the evening, but in the day it's not too bad.
8:20 a.m. New York.
Yep. Yeah, everybody's come to work, so it starts to slow down. Yeah. So that's the downside of it. But for us, it's not too bad. If you don't work long, crazy hours like I do, you'll do all right during the day. It works pretty well. But it does have. Oh, and this is the preview version, so it's probably got more limitations. So I think what happens at the preview version, it gets turned off. Just let me go back to the other one and see if that works still. This is the version that comes with Edge. What's the multiplication sign when you're using Microsoft Excel?
Let's change that to an X. Funny. Oh, damn, did that pick up me?
It heard you.
Funny.
Listen only to my voice.
So you know how it was speaking to us before?
Yep.
It's funny. I read during the week somebody set up like two web browser, two different pages.
Yeah.
Fired up an AI like this kind of thing in each one, and then had them talk to each other. So you had two AIs. One's like, "Hello, who are you?" "Oh, I'm blah blah." And then eventually one of them found out the other one was an AI, but like, wait, but I'm supposed to be the AI. And I've been reading, people have been trying this out for a while, and they find that there's been crazy things like they start to develop their own language when they're talking to each other.
Yeah.
And some people have found that sometimes they just start squealing like they're telling each other things at high speed kind of thing. And then and then the people on the AI engine are going, "Oh no, don't worry about that. That's all okay. It's just a little mental breakdown thing." But it's like, yeah,
it's squealing.
I think it's early days.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. What was that?
We think it's squealing, but it's actually a form of AI binary. It's like speed, totally right.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a couple of budgies, and the one would always greet as chip 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 chip, and the other one would go right. So then
I don't want to have my AI squealing to each other. That's just
I recorded that with my father's dictaphone and then replayed it at half speed, and they were both saying the same thing.
Yeah.
One that said it like Chip Chip was saying it so fast that to a human ear it sounded like white noise.
Yeah.
He slowed it down. It was exactly the same.
Well, this shows you how easy it is to actually set up that kind of thing, because we just saw Les set it up. So basically, he was talking to it with his mic. So basically, it's just each one is picking up the other one. Probably easier if you have it on two separate machines.
Yeah, that's right.
But this guy said he had them on the same machine. I think it was actually in the same browser window, like just two different tabs, an AI in each one, talking to each other.
Well, you might be able to run them on two VMs. I don't know how that would work. It should work okay with two VMs. We'll give that a try later on. Yeah, just to see.
We got to try it now, because we've probably got about 3 weeks before Skynet goes live, and that's it, game over.
Scott, you reminded me of a joke where like a meme thing I put in the chat that says tech enthusiast. Everything in my house is wired to the Internet of Things. I can control it from my smartphone, blah, blah, blah. And the programmers are like, the most recent thing I have is a printer from 2004, and I keep a loaded gun ready next to it if it ever makes an unexpected noise.
That's so true.
Well, I've got my, in case it all burns out, I've still got my slide rule in the top drawer of my little thing here, so we're ready to go. So I don't really care what they do.
Yeah, we're going to need rocks and bows and arrows before too long.
It's like, is it who was it? That's Einstein had said. They said Well, I don't know how it's going to happen with the World War III, but I can tell you World War IV will be fighting with sticks if we're still around.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That's the big demo. I think the easiest way is to get a copy and play around with it, and do it during the day. The nighttime, certainly the bottom one at the bottom of the screen here, the Copilot preview, that gets a lot of belting. So the other one works better, but I'm not sure exactly how it's tied up to the finances of the things. I think I'm running my Word and Excel, and of course in 365, and you can get that in all different flavors. And I've got kind of middle of the road one, and that seems to work pretty good.
So it's interesting. I've used ChatGPT a lot, and what I've heard, Copilot uses ChatGPT as its main engine, but it's displaying things in a lot nicer format, clickable things, and formatted code. ChatGPT is just more like raw text.
If you look what's happening in Microsoft, they're buying up everything that looks like artificial intelligence. He's buying up. He's buying into the whole lot of it. So Microsoft will end up cornering that market, I think, because that's what they're thinking. They're thinking, well, if you're going to really have an office thing that is going to run the world like he is at the moment, you need to keep on top of this bit. And he's smart enough.
It's going to be patent wars as well. They're not just buying businesses because they want the business itself. It's patents that the business owns.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So it'll be massive patent wars coming up pretty soon, and that's why this is only going to be large companies like Microsoft driving this, because no one can afford to fight a patent war.
Yeah, that's right.
You've got to be the size of Microsoft to be able to afford that.
Don't give a damn about patents, and we're the ones who are screwed over in them because we've got our damned patents blocking us.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, China is really way ahead of the game here. They've pushed on pretty well, with a combination of their good design themselves and stealing whatever they can from the rest of the world. So, because you're right, patents don't mean anything over there.
I was watching a program on this the other day, and they're saying that their view on innovation is different. It's quite simply you iterate. It's basically iteration, right? So you iterate on what other people have done. So copying something and then improving on it slightly isn't actually a bad thing. That's how things evolve.
Right.
Yes.
And that makes sense. But we have the American system, which is, no, it has to be something totally brand new, even if it's done before, or even in what invented that's patent trolled. So, I mean, the Chinese do have a pretty valid point. Just we aren't allowed that process.
Yeah, I think you're right. The frightening part is that this stuff is being used, by bad actors, and that's the difficulty with all this stuff. Because if you think about how you could maybe set it up to break into security systems and things like that, that's really where it's going to have to be watched very carefully.
Yeah.
And I think Microsoft's on the right path with, you can't use Windows 11 on a machine which is 4 years. I got a laptop. It's 4 years old. I can't use it with Windows 11. It's just unbelievable. You just chuck away the machine and buy a new one.
Well, actually, Les, just earlier, there's a link in the chat, and I'll be posting the chat log with the video. If anybody has any concerns about posting the recording of tonight, just let me know, either directly, privately, whatever, no problem. What was I going to say? Yes, there was someone saying that there was a way to install Windows 11 that was stripping off bits and pieces that you don't want, but also the part where it demands the is it TPM, TMP, the
TPM,
security chip.
Yeah, security.
Because my main laptop is from, I don't know, I'm guessing 2017 or 18 or something. It's got 4K screen and all that. Had a 1 terabyte SSD and a 1 terabyte spinning disk in it when I got it. So it was, I thought it was pretty good. And it was going to keep me going for a while, but it won't upgrade to Windows 11.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Because of the chip. But I also got this tiny little skinny ThinkPad from an auction for my daughter, and it already had Windows 11 on it.
Yeah.
And it was older than my laptop.
Yeah.
Paul, I was just trying to find in the chat links. Was that the Sora Atibo thing you were talking? No, it wasn't.
It says Windows 11.
The thing you talked about where you could tell it to build a stripped down version of Windows. What was that? Can you post a link to that?
Hang on.
Would you remember the name of it?
I'll share. I'll share my screen if that's all right with you, Les?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, mate.
I'd like to point out that Les's slide rule has now appeared in 2 consecutive meetings.
That's it.
We might have to make it a mandatory component.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll do a session on slide rules.
There's one there.
Yeah, there you are. Just a shot. I'd show you mine, but I can't get my camera to work. So there's for technology for you.
This one here, minimal Windows 11.
Bob, I had one that's like that too. It was it filled up my briefcase. That was, I thought, the greatest piece of technology in the world. That thing, it was a Faber-Castell, mate. It was a fabulous machine.
Hang on. What am I missing?
So there was some software that you mentioned where you could tell it, you could tell it what kind of build a version of Windows when you tell it what bits you want in.
Yeah, that's this one. Minimal Windows 11. Gotcha, John. Hello. Hang on. Why is it not? No. Why is it? Hang on.
John's disappeared off the connection list.
Sorry, what were you saying, John?
I said it kicked me off.
Yeah, we don't like you, John.
I didn't quite realise.
Oh, he's back.
I'm doing side-by stuff at the moment, but then trying to get back on so I can hear you fellas.
Same link should still work fine, John.
Okay. Well, I got on the same link, so I'm here.
Oh, you might be.
Oh, I can hear your voice over the phone, but I can't hear voices elsewhere.
Is it saying we have to let you in or anything? No?
No.
Okay.
But can you hear me, John? Les Fox here.
But I don't know where the volume control is on my screen. I've got join audio down the bottom.
That's probably, you haven't joined it yet, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's showing me that there's a session where you are connected.
Yeah.
I can now see Scott H and Frank and Peter and Bob and Les Fox Engineering.
Okay.
And you just shifted over to the side and I can't see your pic at the moment. Oh, there you go.
All right, you're back.
Yes, I am back. Yes.
Yeah, up in the top right-hand corner, they get a little gallery view. If you get to look at it in different ways. Go up there and click on the gallery view, and you'll see everybody on the same screen. You won't see anybody now because you'll see them down the side of the screen. Yeah.
I was just going to point out. I saw this has been coming up on my phone in different places or something.
Yeah.
Beginner's Guide Web Development with Delphi is probably a TMS, I'm guessing, thing.
I got an email the other day about web development in Delphi.
Yeah.
But I thought, given what we were just looking at, maybe we could have a look at. No, I didn't share. I did share the sound because it's automatically. I haven't looked at this video exploring Google Chrome's new AI chatbot. Would we be interested in playing that one?
Yeah, why not?
Can we embed that sort of thing in our Delphi applications easily?
Well, sorry, John, were you saying something?
I haven't got any sound. I've only got the sound from you over the phone, but I haven't got any sound of the meeting. I've got vision of the meeting, but I haven't got sound.
Oh, what does your join audio bit say now?
Say again?
You know, where you said join audio, what does that say now?
It's just got a little green arrow like it's working.
Check your volume.
Audio by computer, so I clicked it anyway.
You might want to check your volume or check if you
sound output.
If you double click on the speaker, you know, down in your bottom left hand or whatever corner, you know, on your taskbar, there are all these computers these days have all these different audio outlets. Like
Paul, if I can just interrupt there, on the microphone, you might relay this message to him because he can't hear us. On the microphone down the bottom, there's a little pop-up thing.
Connect to the meeting audio. Click join audio by computer to try again.
Yeah, tell him to press that button.
Audio by computer, because I can't.
Les says you should click.
Press that button. That'll work.
Les says click that button.
Yeah, do the test button thing.
Oh, can you see my screen? Is that on?
Yeah, but it's not, I don't see any movement at the moment.
See how there's, even on my system, there's these different options for where the sound comes out?
Microphone, remember the section. Allow. Now I might be right.
Yeah, try this. Can you hear us now?
Yay! I can hear it.
You did, mate.
Woo!
You can also get to that just at the bottom of that little you know, up arrows thing alongside the mute thing. Right down the bottom, it's got audio settings, so you can flick onto that, and you get all sorts of testing things and all related to Zoom. So, although it might be pointing to one thing somewhere else, if it's not pointing, if the Zoom thing's not pointing to the right one, you know, it won't work. So, you know, that's the other way of making sure that it's working in Zoom. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'll show you. Can I share the screen? I'll show you how.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hang on, let's go share the screen.
I just think it's hilarious. I go to all these different Zoom meetings, you know, well, not so much recently, but across the last couple of years, and it's always, you know, programming people in tech, and everybody has the same, like, oh, I had this, I installed that, it ruined everything, this thing's not working.
Yeah, that's right. Hang on, I'll just share this screen.
In the old days, it was going to uni and like the smartest mathematician lecturer in the entire department would walk in and go like, does anyone know how to turn the lights on? Can somebody get the projector working for me?
All right. Can you see that screen? Oh, you probably can't now.
Yep. I can see.
How come I can't see it? Yeah, if you go to the on the top of that thing, the arrow's upside down, but right down the bottom, you'll find audio settings. Yeah. And you click on the audio settings thing, and then you can got all this stuff here. You can set everything in there, and within there you can you know, drop down here and show what speaker in the system you're using and everything else, and change that around. So you can also test the speakers to make sure the speakers are working okay.
I'm not sure we can see.
Oh, you can't see that?
Where's the thing you're pointing to, Les?
Oh, the screen that's come up. Can you see the screen that's moving around?
We can see your I take it's web browser Edge. I think it's Edge we're looking at.
Oh, hang on, wait a minute. Let me unshare the screen and try the other one.
Wow.
share. Stop share. Right. Share screen. And the screen I want to share is this one.
It also depends what view setting you have. So if you've got the one where it's all over the whole screen, then you'll have the taskbar at the bottom. There's the options bar at the bottom. But if you've got it minimized, it's off to the side a bit. That's
Yeah.
We're seeing Edge again.
Can you see that screen there?
That's Edge.
Yep. Sorry?
That's Edge.
Still looking at Edge. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, is it, guys? Is that Edge? File, home, insert, drawer, history, review. Or is this some sort of a?
Well, this is. I'm actually looking at the Zoom screen at the moment. Oh, hang on. No, I'm looking at. What am I looking at? I'm looking at a screen which is it's got something else running in the background. Let me just.
We can see your mouse.
Oh, you can see the mouse. Well, if you can see the mouse, can you see up the top? Can you see a little microphone up the top? No.
On the
right up the top.
Top left, but not all the way left.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
If you
8
click
icons.
that, can you see a drop down thing there? Select microphone, select speaker, etc., etc.
No, it's not coming up on our screen, but we now know where you're pointing to.
Yeah. Well, if you go down,
it's above the word history, right?
I don't know what you're looking at. Probably, yeah.
Unless you've got your record screen up.
Yeah, what I've got here is this is the screen I use for OneNote. I don't know if you guys are using OneNote, but OneNote is another big tool that I reckon is fantastic. You got a lot of. Can you see that screen? The reckon screen?
Yes, moving.
Yeah.
That's all the stuff I have in this notebook. But there's more notebooks. So if you want to keep track of something, I find that OneNote's just terrific for that. Like this little reckon demo thing, I just brought it up there so that I'd ask the same question to get the same sort of response. So if you're not using OneNote, have a play with that. It's free. And I don't know how long it's going to be around, but it's been around for 15 years as far as I know now. So it's probably still got a bit of life left in it. But it's a terrific way of putting the stuff up. It uses a notebook. The notebook's up the top. And then it's got within each section of the notebooks, it's got different stuff. Let me find something that could be interesting. Well, anything will do. What's this thing here on Linux? Here we go. And so when you want to look at, when you see something interesting on the web and you want to record it, you can stick it there as straight in there, paste it straight in there, the link to the website. So it's pretty good for for collecting. If you're doing a bit of work and you want to collect some information when you're doing some research, OneNote's your tool. It's really good. You can stick voice messages in. You can stick links to websites. You can point to different parts of your own machine, and it's really, really good. If you've got a page with a whole bunch of text and stuff that you want to look at, you've got that. And of course, you can go to websites and pull the data down from there and stick it in there. So I find it a good. I just about got rid of my notepad now. I don't, a physical notepad. Because it's so much more convenient. All I have now is so recycled paper, and I write on the back of the clear side, on the clear side, and then after I finish talking on the phone or whatever else, I put it straight in here. But everything goes in there. So there you are. That's another demo.
Nice.
Yeah, it is good. It really is good, and you can. if you pop this little thing down here, you can see. I can't do that in this one. Oh, yes, I can. Oh yeah, it just folds the thing in so you can get more space. But the way it works, it's got, if you like, these are sections, major sections. As you go down the page there, these are the major sections, and on each section there's a bunch of pages. So I'm looking at Linux for Unix at the moment. If I'm looking at what else? Mathematics. You go to mathematics, yeah. And so here's a whole bunch of stuff here, and each one of these pages is a different, is a different different part of it, So if you wanted to spend a bit of time looking at what pi goes, or E or Euler or one of these guys, they're all this stuff is. This is all stuff I've just got from the web. If you've ever want to go back and have a look, there it is. You don't download the whole lot, just do the link. So after about 5 years, it all goes out of date anyway. But the best part is that while that's going, you can make good use of it. So yeah. So that's what I use it for. And each of these, and you can have you can use the pages on the side, and then you can have sub pages to that as well. And that's about the limit. So it's kind of like a book. And this is a notebook. This particular one you're looking at is just one notebook. I suppose I should break them up, but they're kind of just as easy to have all in the one place. But you can have as many notebooks as you want, and it all runs on the web, so you can you can use it on your phone or your iPad or your whatever thing you've got, or if you've got one of those fancy laptops, what is it? The new Microsoft range. They've got some really nice stuff there, but you can use it anywhere. So it's accessible to anything. So if you make some changes here on some part of it, if you go physics here, like for instance, if we look at anything down here, this stuff here is fully accessible on your phone or your iPad. So I think it's really interesting stuff. That's my world.
I have an almost identical sort of. I mean, I know John has the same sort of kind of thing going on with browser bookmarks and stuff, and the same sort of setup. I have I use Obsidian, which is like a bit more homemade sort of. I mean, it's big. Lots of people use it. Version of this OneNote, exactly kind of setup. The only thing I've heard about Obsidian is like it stores everything in text files, so that like it's pretty easy to like do versioning and that sort of thing on, but all trying to achieve the same outcome pretty much.
Yeah, I think so. There's a whole bunch, Evernote. There's a whole bunch of them. So I've just found this one, is in Microsoft, and it's free, and it links with everything else. That's the only reason I use it.
Yeah, this one seems like like YouTube for me is like accessible across all my devices. It's really great. Obsidian's not the same, so the fact that this one is very transferable is a good point.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. The files are up on the cloud, but they don't have to be. You can back them up and put them on a little box if you want to, and go off the cloud, but you've got to get on the cloud to get back to the links anyway. So so you can ways, Okay, that's me done. I'll stop sharing my screen.
You weren't on speaker, John, just in case you were trying to say anything.
There was Lex. There was Lex saying, no.
I can't hear him.
John, try again.
John was saying he'd be interested to have a look at different, options to do what Les was doing. Yeah.
Who's asked to have it? Yeah.
I think he's got his microphone in the back paddock.
We can hear you, John, and it's not coming from my phone. Oh. No, maybe it's me. Maybe it's just in my... You're very far away from the microphone of wherever you're coming from, talking from. Oh, really? It's coming across like you're in the backyard and it's in the front yard. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on. Technology.
Yeah.
Oh, so, I mean, how long have we been going? Nearly
9 o'clock.
Are we interested in looking at the Google Chrome chatbot
blood pressure test.
video that's 12 minutes, or we can just do that on our own?
That's a minute. Yeah, because it's a Wi-Fi.
Because we want to know how to connect this, right?
That's right. Yeah.
This is Wi-Fi or Bluetooth?
Bluetooth. Yeah.
So, we have a quick topic. Well, it's not a quick topic question, I suppose. When you have a moment.
What was that, sorry?
Well, it sounded like we could do with a break anyway if you want to kick off the video. And
what was Peter saying?
Well, Frank has been, his blood pressure app that he's been writing. We're thinking about connecting to this one to laptop to this one via Bluetooth, and then talking to it, so we can get the results directly from this into his app.
How do you do it?
Yeah, basically.
How do you do it?
Yeah.
Help.
How do you do that? I haven't touched Bluetooth, so.
I mean, is it meant to be connected to by just anyone?
Yeah, well, I suppose so. I mean, there's a Bluetooth connection there, and then it's once that's done, once you've paired them, it should be a matter of.
Oh, so like with your phone, if you went to the Bluetooth section, I mean, I'm talking about Samsung anyway.
Yeah.
You swipe down from the top, you go to, well, it'll show Bluetooth there. If you hold your finger on the Bluetooth icon, it'll come up with what devices are available and scan for new ones.
So we're thinking more in terms of Delphi, in terms of enumerating the Delphi devices, and then the communications interface of the Bluetooth. That an actual Delphi question.
to run on Android or something? Do you mean?
Well, what Bluetooth API do we use in Delphi to?
Oh, yeah, Windows. Okay, I was forgetting a desktop also has Bluetooth, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how you do it. You hook it up to your PC, and you've probably got a button on the back of the box. If you press the button on the back of the box, it should broadcast to your laptop, and if you see it there, you can just hook her up from there.
Yeah, this one has on the front of the box, but same deal. But when we're in Delphi, how do we talk to it using Delphi?
We can ask Claude if you want. How would I connect a Delphi window? Hang on.
A Delphi app to a Bluetooth device.
Bluetooth, yeah. You'd have to have a driver for that to hook it up, I think. And
Because I seem to remember when they were showing these things early on. You know, back when we had the meetings down south of the river.
Yeah.
And there was some more like more or less sending text
Things like that,
to back and forth. I thought
They
it was
were.
very, very primitive, but that's what they were using, it seems. So it's more like just Delphi talking to a Bluetooth device. Yeah, but yes.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. You weren't referring
That's
to a
clever.
human, you're referring to an AI. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Ignore the AI.
Yeah.
But now we need to check whether system.bluetooth actually exists.
So that was a Bluetooth key identifier there, and then Bluetooth confirms. Yes.
Apparently.
There you go.
I know it's pretty simple once you know how to do it. I just haven't actually got around to doing it. I just remember it's one of those things. Oh, it's probably really complicated, and you see someone do it. Oh, that's all.
Yeah.
This link here, classic Bluetooth. I don't know what is this different to like LE or something? But discovering and pairing, making a device.
I think there are two different Bluetooths that I'm aware of. One is your sort of regular Bluetooth where you have devices talking to each other. Then you have another one which is very, very, very low powered. So my reticulation uses that, for example. So it just sits there listening, not drawing much battery power. And then I can, using my phone, connect up to it and say, okay, now I want you to change the schedule. Bam.
Yeah.
Upload that, and it just gets that and applies. So there's not much two-way communication really.
No, I know all the sample program should be on GitHub somewhere from Embarcadero.
Will be, yes,
Red Studio 11, that'll do.
Okay, so there's 70 gig that I can see.
Scott, we can hear you thinking, man.
Yeah, I'm trying. That mic must be really sensitive. I was barely whispering that to myself.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Who? Heart rate monitor.
like picking up brain waves.
Classic Bluetooth basic app.
Yeah. Oh, heart rate monitor. Well, there you go. Wow. So then you can just grab from there. Oh, that's neat. Because that would be what that's there.
Oh, there.
There you go. Yeah, all the drivers and everything are there, so off you go.
Oh, I did not realize it was going to be okay. Yeah, I am not good at finding things like this. I suppose I didn't try much.
Don't you love this AI stuff? Fantastic, isn't it?
Hang on, this is me-I, not AI.
Oh, me-I, yeah. UI.
I'm
Paul-I.
I'm moderately non-artificial.
Oh, Paul-I is in Paul-I Institute, was it?
Although Google was doing a fair bit of the work, so to be fair.
Was it the Paul-I Institute?
Paul-I Institute, yeah.
If you mention my name and institution in the same sentence, we know.
Well, this particular one, I think, has to do with a supercomputer.
It's the right connotations, mate.
So, Bluetooth service list manager. Paired devices. Anyway, I think it should be enough to get you going, Peter.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Got send data. You probably won't be wanting to send data. I don't know, do you?
You can do actually, because this one's only one. You want three.
I mean, we could
Oh, oh, because you've got the three. Yeah, you get the pulse. Maybe you could send that just a link to.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth. This says, I mean, it'll be in your install, but this says Studio 11 demos.
It's 11. Okay, not.
I mean, but it's probably the same in 12.
Oh, no, yeah, 11's all right. Okay, so if you just click on the top on the path, you get a Bluetooth.
It's in chat now.
Oh, it's in chat now. Okay, cool, sweet. And then I'll give you a link here so you can access it more easily. Sweet, perfect. And then there's a heart rate monitor, so that's perfect. That is the it. SiteGround login. Oh, but do you want it Firefox or do you want it okay. You'll be using Firefox, won't you?
All right, guys, I need to take off. Paul, I'm going to leave the change you to be host. Let me try this. Actually, what I might do, Frank and Peter, I'm going to change you to co-host. You're the backup.
Okay.
Okay. No, I'll just make you the. If you got problems, you're now the host, Paul. If you got problems, just give me a call.
We could probably wrap up pretty soon, I guess.
Yeah.
We've had a good chat, I reckon.
Yeah. Paul, I'm just sending you an email just then with some notes I said I'd send you. I tried to take a copy of the chat log, but it loses all the formatting. It looks like crap, but
I've
better than nothing.
I've kept it up to date into a text file, so I got
right. Okay, cool. All right. I will send you the video tomorrow, so I'll leave it to you to put up. I think this one's pretty clean, so you can probably just stick it up on YouTube or whatever as is. There's
the worst thing is like, you can, because they're MP4s, you can split them down the middle easily. You just straight up copies the thing, and you can maybe, I don't know, join them back together. Like, if you join the two back together again, it'll go through the first half unchanged, and then it has to start calculating for this, for the bit you've joined on. And the tragedy is that I put on like 15 seconds with the black, a title and the quokka and that sort of thing. And then it has to calculate the entirety of the rest of it.
Yeah, and it takes hours, right? It's just crazy.
Which is why I split the last two into halves, so I could just post the second half unedited, and then I only had the first half that had to recode itself, and it's just going along in a 2012
you know what would be nice? Being able to have
Packard
the equivalent of function calls in videos. So you start a video, you go, all right, first I'll play this other video, and then I'll come back and continue. And one little thing in there. You don't have to recode anything. That'd be nice.
You're assuming that doesn't already exist, though.
I am assuming it doesn't exist.
That's a good idea.
I mean,
all right, guys, I am off. I've got an early start tomorrow.
See you, Scott. Good to see you. Oh, boy, congratulations. I reckon that little icon you'd put together is fantastic. More power to the clockers, mate.
It was Google Gemini that came up with it.
Google Gemini.
And Scott clipped it out from the background, I think, and added feet.
Added feet.
and actually, Jim McKeith saw it on, I think, LinkedIn or something or other, and said, "You're using an old." I mean, he was being pleasant, like that's an older Delphi logo, and here's the new one.
Fair enough.
And in fact, I think like 1,500 or 2,000 people viewed that quokka on LinkedIn, which is just crazy.
Good
job.
But he's a particularly, I mean, in my opinion, a particularly good, like I had, I didn't draw the damn thing, but, oh, am I sharing screen at the moment? I am, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go to Google Gemini. It was called Bard when I started using it, and they changed it to Gemini. I only went here because apparently it was good for plus. An image of a group of a half dozen or so Delphi developers gathered around a laptop on a space or moonscape background. So it'll take a few shots at it. Oh. We can't. No, we're not doing it.
Mm.
Hang on.
This is how
Plans will notify you in what? Expect to be plans soon. Oh.
Yeah, it would normally come up with like 1 to like 5 or 6 different like pictures about that big, and
well, last year at XRWA, my ex-boss actually was showing how they were using AI to help their art team, and so he said, "Okay, guys, to the audience, give us a setting, give us a situation, give us a whatever." So it was an act. So collectively, we chose an accident at the beach, and practically every single picture had people standing around on the beach looking at a car because accident to the AI meant car. Some of them standing in the windows, some of them standing around just watching it, car on the side. Like, yeah, what about shark attacks or I don't know, or tsunamis or whatever? No.
oh, Claude doesn't do images. DALL-E, Midjourney. I've never used Midjourney.
Yeah, I got to run, guys. It's been fun.
Right.
Next one.
Catch up to start. Bye.
Cheers, Scott. Thanks very much.
Yeah, take care, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no free plans? Well, it looks like a lot of steps just to get into.
And pricey as well.
It's
not free. They won't let us use their electricity for free. Why not?
Create. Go away. Okay. Windows that you have to click on. Not happy. I want to do the, like, what do you call it? I don't care about the manual.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Oh, 3 more of those pop-ups! Yay!
You didn't I don't know if you watched the video, but Jeff, ADUG President Jeff, who presented about AI last month. There's a one for creating music. and it was hilarious. Sona, was it called Sona? Like he had one like look on the Google for himself and then create a song about me programming or something. And it was very upbeat. It was such a classic. I was like, if you talk at a symposium in the future, you're gonna have to like blast that as you walk onto the stage type situation. Like when he said it created music, I assumed music, but it's got vocals and everything. I'm like, oh my god.
Right. Yeah. Oh, there you go on the left prompt. Bottom we can create. Let's see if it allows.
I mean, we don't need it. So, oh, okay. It thinks 1,000 by 1,000 is small, I guess. No. Oh, fine.
Ah, there it is. You can scale it later if it works.
Sign in with.
Yay! Totally.
Yeah, with Gemini, it was just type in the prompt and it would come up with
How do we know the Delphi programmers? Oh wait,
they're too young.
it's all got Delphi with 2 P's. Oh no, there's PH.
Too young.
They are all over the age of 50. See if we can do 2.
I have tried this one actually, I think.
On that music creating website, there was one that was the Tale of Dune as a Broadway musical.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. Oh, John's trying to say something, I think.
Trying to reconnect, but there's nothing wrong with my internet. My internet's still working, so
Yeah, we were having
something.
We were having some problems earlier with Zoom itself. It kind of lost connection a few times.
You're in or you're not in, John?
No, I'm not on at the moment. No, I've got this message on my screen saying meeting disconnected.
I mean, this picture's a lot closer to what I imagined.
In the bottom right corner is well, they're actually sitting in a hole in the moon dust.
We'll be wrapping up pretty soon, I guess, John. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
But you see, they're sitting in the dust.
Yeah.
What's that laptop doing? No, John. We're looking at a picture, an AI generated picture.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's.
I saw the pictures I saw all the pictures you had there on your thing up until about 2 minutes ago.
Oh.
And then it just chucked me out. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just. I just asked for a picture of Delphi developers, like sitting on the moon.
They said it was sitting in the moon.
Timeout or browser restriction.
Okay. Well, also, we're going out.
All right, cheers.
Connection has timed out or your organisation has.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Okay. Catch you later. Bye.
All right. So yeah, on that.
See you, Frank. See you, Peter. Take care, mate.
Good night.
We might have a good night. Maybe we'll all say.
Yep.
Close the meeting. Do you think?
Yeah. Thanks, mate. Yeah, thanks for organising that. Sorry for being a bit late today. I got
Not at
sidetracked.
all. I mean, I've been to a few other meetings from the US or something that were a bit more just chatting for an extended amount of time with people dropping in and dropping out, and it's not a bad format, really.
No, I think it's a good idea. Yeah, sort of share stuff too. Yeah, you just got to see how other people do their work and whatever. So, yeah.
And I was very pleased today to not have to think too hard about how to make this meeting happen.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
So thank you, everybody.
Thanks for all your work, mate. You're doing a great job.
That's not
Thanks
true,
very
folks.
much.
I'll take it anyway.
Okay. See you, Bob. See
you. Thanks very much.
See you, Paul.
Good to see.
Stop sharing. Cheers. Good to see you all anyway. And Peter, I don't know if, okay. I don't think Peter's still around.
No, Peter's gone. Yeah, they've all gone. All right, mate. Hooroo. See you later. God bless. Bye.
Cheers.